Yeah, Beyonce practiced Ifa. She a child of Oshun. She a child of Oshun. She got songs. She got songs like
for real?
Talking about her ancestor. Every time she dressed up like her ancestor. When she was pregnant, she dressed up as Oshun.
Oh wow. So have you ever spoken with the dead?
Yeah, I feed them.
What do you mean?
I feed them all the time. I take care of them for them to take care of me every day.
This is a religion that originated in Africa?
Yeah. It's the religion that they say all African Americans are supposed to practice.
Because like I've seen movies and I've seen stuff online.
It ain't no movie. It ain't no movie.
They'll have the alternate.
It ain't no movie. Hey bro, I'm trying to tell you right now, you brainwashed the way you talking. You can talk to Ifa about anything. Once you find out who you a child of.
Yeah, man. It seems like everybody just want to put Beyonce in their own stuff. And she may be doing that though. But James, man, this is your topic, bro. You brought it to the table. Talk about that Ifa.
All right, man. So Ifa is a religion. It's an African religion. It originated in West Africa. It's been spreading throughout the black community like wildfire. A lot of blacks are subscribing to this because it tells you to tap into your history, tap into your ancestry. You get power from your ancestors. Many believe that Christianity is a white man religion given to us by slaves. We know that's low-hanging fruit. Christianity existed far before slavery, but nevertheless, many people are subscribing to this because it allows them to do what they want to do. Mm-hmm. So in the case of Beyonce, the young man said she's a daughter of Oshun. So the story of Oshun, she's a Orisha. Orisha are like divine powers in the Ifa faith that pretty much help govern the world and help it run properly. Oshun was known to be a beautiful woman. They said beautiful body, snatched like y'all might say, beautiful face, all this kind of stuff. And like all the men were in love with her. They said when men were stressed out, she was known to have the ability to keep men calm. And when I say by keep men calm, just use your imagination with that. Also to the point where they said the peacock is representative of Oshun. Pretty much all the eyes you see on the feathers of the peacock, that's supposed to be how many men that she quote unquote helped relax. So she was known for her beauty, known for her elegance, all this different kind of stuff. She ran across this dude named Shango. Shango had the same kind of situation going on. All the ladies loved him. He was popular. He was sensual as well. So they got together. She was in love with Shango. Shango wasn't feeling her like that. So her heart was broken. She then went to the graveyard to talk to a lady named Oba. Oba supposed to be like the OG or like a sage. Oba told her pretty much don't have sex with somebody you're not in a relationship with. But she was still obsessed with Shango. But she heard the word of Oba. She supposedly went to the moon. When she went up to the moon, she had a baby. Now this is where it gets kind of tricky because they said she didn't know who the baby's father was. But also, they try to tie it in and say similar to Christ, the baby was brought about without some kind of penetration. So I'm like, how is she refreshing these men without penetration? Anyway, she didn't know who the baby daddy was. She was lost. All right, so the baby is born. The baby goes with her mother. So she comes back down. She looks down from the moon and sees the world is in chaos because men are stressed out because she's not there keeping them calm. She comes back down, have a whole bunch of more children. So she has these children, all these children go with the mama. Then one day she comes to her thoughts, she said, you know what, I'm tired of being out here doing this, doing that. I want to be a mother and get my children. Well, her mother said, nah, you've been wilding out. You're not going to take these children. I'm going to keep the children.
Like a good mother would.
Right. So she was sad again. So now she tried to go to the son. The son was like, nah, you're not coming up here. Burns all her hair off, burns all her beauty off. So she's looking rough or whatever. And they say the reason why the peacock can't fly is because last time they tried to fly, they got burned by the sun. It's all crazy. So now she's supposed to be lost her beauty and all this kind of stuff with her hair and different things. So now she's wearing wigs, she's wearing head wraps, she's wearing all these different things. And now she's the goddess of water and beauty and sensuality and all these different kind of things. But when you look at that and you look at Beyonce, you see the sensuality. She had a problem being obsessed with men. Not only was it Shango she was obsessed with, it was another guy she was obsessed with. She had a husband who was bisexual. But that's another story. She was obsessed with men and crazy over men. Let's look at Beyonce. She was crazy in love. She said, ring the alarm.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? The whole Lemonade album was probably a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's singing songs to show her obsession with men. You see, after she supposedly lost her beauty, she started wearing all these wigs and trying to cover up her beauty and do these alterations to herself or whatever. We have a lot of women in our culture now who are not satisfied with the things that God has given them, and they feel like they have to cover themselves up. I'm not saying you can't wear makeup. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't wear weave and makeup. I'm not saying it's just I'm talking about the heart and the mindset behind it. If you're just trying to look nice and do your thing, that's cool. But if you feel like you need these things because you're not pretty enough, or you don't have value, or you're not worthy of being loved without these things, now we have a problem. And that more lines up with what she was feeling like. So, and a lot of Christians who love Beyonce, they go to these concerts, you try to find reasons why it's okay for you to listen to her, and you're trying to get past all this stuff, but the fact of the matter is she's worshiping a different God from you if you are a Christian. The things that this God did, she's perpetuating on stage, in her lyrics, with her actions, with her lifestyle. Shango could also almost be like Jay-Z. Shango was that guy. He was powerful. In the hip-hop world for a long time, Jay-Z was that guy. He was powerful. He had money. And to this degree, he probably still is.
Yeah.
So she's living out this life. And she's even known as the daughter of Oshun. Like that was, and she said that in her lyrics. And I am Nala, I am Olu, I am Oshun. Like she's saying all these things, so we can make excuses for this stuff and act like it's not existing. But she's telling you right here in your face, I worship another God. I worship another religion. This is witchcraft at its finest, and this is what she's doing, and people are captivated by it. So from this point forward, if you hear this, you have a responsibility. Like this is what she's saying. If you believe in that and you want to follow that, God bless you.
We talked about Beyonce so much on our channel. Probably our number one, about to hit 1 million views channel. Videos is about Beyonce. Let's just talk about the religion that you gave the background of the religion. It was like somebody, if you was explaining Christianity, you very well explained that very well, sir. But talk about the Ifa. Is that what I'm saying that right?
Yeah.
Ifa? About people who they're doing that. That's basically their ancestry, praying to the ancestors, leaving food out for the ancestors and stuff of that nature. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, so that's one of their rituals. So it's like, if I'm not mistaken, they have like 16 different rules of Ifa, but one of the main things they do, they build altars. Yeah. Kind of similar to Santeria. Yeah. They build altars and do worship and do rituals in their home. Yeah. They prepare meals and sacrifices for their ancestors who they believe, like he said, I feed my ancestors. Like I take care of them so they take care of me. So it's a belief that as African Americans or Africans, we're drawing strength from our ancestors to accomplish every task. And what's so crazy, if you look at these rules of Ifa, if you didn't know nothing about none of this stuff, you're like, oh man, this is somebody who got good moral character. This is a solid person. Let your yes be yes, don't lie, tell the truth, different things of that nature. Like, you seem like somebody who have good character, but you're practicing witchcraft and like blindly doing it, and you're being misled. And the trickery behind this is, like I said, a lot of folks feel like Christianity is a white man religion. So when you have something that taps in supposedly to your people and your origin, and you feel like you've been misled and you've been lied to, and you're seeing black people constantly mistreated and being lied to this day, you're like, man, we must be missing the mark. So now you fall for the deception. Let me go back to what was said, what was done back in the old days, and this and that. And your hatred and your frustration and your fleshly desires to be superior are leading you to something that is witchcraft and outside the will of God, similar to a lot of different other factions and beliefs that we have out here. The Black Nationalist movement, the Black Hebrew Israelites, the one that yell at you at the gas station.
The purple with the tassels.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like some of this stuff is fueled by hatred. Some of this stuff is fueled by a desire to be superior because we feel like we've been on the bottom in society so long for black people. So instead of trusting God and believing in Jesus, who said, love your enemies, that seems unrealistic to some people. They feel like, nah, we need revenge. We need superiority. I need to tap into who I really am. But when you die, you're not going to Africa. Yeah. You're going to heaven or hell.
Yeah. And to tack on to that, Deuteronomy 18:10, where it has the long list. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire, that uses divination, or the pass through the fire thing is the son thing, is also related to like the whole abortion thing, sacrificing your children. So let's throw that in there. But the use of divination, psychics, an observer of the times, I think horoscopes will fall under that, an enchanter, a witch, a charmer, a consulter with familiar spirits, a wizard, or a necromancer. So if people are speaking to the dead, that's what the necromancy is. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drove them out before thee.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I mean, man, I think one of the things is that we always want to be we don't know who we are as a people, man. And I think that's the thing, that we are so like going for so much stuff. And then even in the church, even I think for so many people in the church, they don't know they don't know the identity of Christ. Like they don't know Christ is our identity. And I think that's why we get so duped when we walk outside of that church. And remember back in, I don't know if you ever saw Malcolm X, when Malcolm X was outside of the church waiting for the church women to come out, and he like showing them who they was, like showing them queens and stuff, and then like they getting caught up and they just coming from the church. So it's just so many people doing that. And I just think also too, man, I think the enemy is very crafty and smart. He used, and this is just my opinion, and just stuff I've seen over the years and talking about stuff, the Black Lives Matter movement. I know that the essence of it was right to be marching for our people and getting rights and stuff, but the people behind it was into this. You know what I mean? And then if you think about that, and then you go into, like you just talked about Beyonce, but then you also talk about Black Panther. Like it's so much stuff in these identities things that when you engrave that in you and you like talk about it and you like really like embrace it, you may start off like somebody may have been in BLM and just marching and stuff, and then they like, hey, come to the house, we gonna do this and this, and you start getting involved, and like you said, your hatred for what's going on, which is a righteous hatred, it's that one, God doesn't like people getting killed in the street. He doesn't like police brutality. He's a God against injustice. You know what I mean? He wants justice. He hates when people are oppressed. You know what I mean? This is all in Psalms. This is like he's saying these things. So at the end of the day, I think we have to understand that we can't get wrapped up. We can have pride of being Black, but that can't be our idol.
I think the pride should come in. This is who God made me. Like, I find my contentment, I find my being, I find my purpose, my identity, and who Christ made me. So if Christ made me a Black man, I'm proud to be a Black man because Christ made me a Black man. Not because I'm superior, not because I'm looking to have a dominance over somebody who I felt like mistreated me or did different things. That's not the way Christ moved. If Christ felt like, you know what, these folks treated me wrong, I'm finna stomp on them, 12 Legion of Angels could have came and wiped everybody out. But he laid his life down. And I think that's the tough thing about it, man. In most people's eyes, in our culture, Christ would look like a sucker. It's like, how you gonna lay your life down with these folks? You bless these people, you heal these people, and they want you dead. How you gonna lay your life down for these folks, man? Nah, you gotta slide on these folks.
Slide on your ops, Jesus.
But he's like, we learned through Christ is there's more strength in restraint than it is in lashing out.
Yes.
And I think the thing also too is that God is able to help anybody if you're willing to call out to him, if you really just surrender to him and everything like that. And to anybody out there that's in this religion that's saying, like, I'm sure we're gonna get feedback in the comments like, yo, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, blah blah blah. My only thing would say is touch the spirit. The word of God says touch the spirit. So if you think we're lying, ask and you okay with multiple gods, ask the God of the Bible to show you what you're feeding. That. If we're lying and if you don't believe with the God, just test the spirit. Just say, God of the Bible, Jesus Christ, show me what I'm feeding. Reveal that to me.
Reveal that.
And test it. If we're wrong, we're wrong. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to say the God of the Bible is the truth, the way, the truth, and the life. So that's I believe that. So at the end of the day, like, and you can put the comments, whatever you want to say in the comments. But we just want everybody to know what you're believing, and I think that's a good thing. And it's like I said, it's not. Beyonce was the thing that brought it popular to the mainstream. And the funny part about this, and I was about to say something. The funny part is the people in Africa, when they saw that stuff with Beyonce, was like, yo, that's demonic, that's witchcraft. They were saying that. The people from Africa were saying, our African brothers and sisters were like, yo, that's witchcraft, and we were like, you don't know what y'all talking about, but it comes from Africa.
We get so consumed with celebrity that we lay down things that we know are wrong. Like, if you like somebody enough, whether it be relationships, we talking about entertainment, if you like somebody enough, you're gonna keep on trying to find excuses to subscribe to a certain thing. And all you're doing is hurting yourself. And God is saying, come out of that. Like, be free from that. Like, it's something better for you out here. But if you just consume with feeding your flesh and having your own desires met instead of seeing what God has for you, you're going to continue to be blind, continue to be lost and in darkness.
Exactly. There's too many examples in Scripture. I am a jealous God. So it's like, there's too much evidence there, or even with the Israelites and serving other gods and idols and how he punished them. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
You can't let the lust of this life and the pride of life and your desires truly blind you, because the decisions that you're making have eternal significance.
Yeah.
But even in that, going back to identity, it's like I think of Ephesians 3, which is so interesting, that ties in a couple of other things we were talking about. Whenever we think of Ephesians 3, we think in 3:20, that he'll do amazingly, abundantly, all I can ask and think, all these blessings he's going to give me. And it was like one day the Lord was like, move up, go up, let's go up a couple verses, let's walk up. And that's really like a prayer of spiritual growth from Paul. And like what really touched me, which is a couple verses, but start at 14 and it'll end at 21. But one of the main things is he's like, that he prays that Christ may dwell in our hearts by faith, that being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend what is the breadth, length, depth, and height of the love of Christ. So if we fully understood that my identity is being loved, like even making jokes like with John, the apostle whom God, apostle whom God loved, or the disciple whom God loved, he identified himself by how much God loves him. You are knitted in the womb. You are intentionally made and wired. My prayer is that all of us truly understand how important and crafted and loved that we are by God, that he has lined up predestined things and great works for us to do, that we are cradled in the palm of his hand. I pray that more people understand how deep that is, and that the Lord reveal that to them, because that's where your identity lies. Not in what these celebrities telling you what to do, not these companies that make money off you being insecure. Like, they literally want you to be insecure so they can have your money, bro. But like, truly your identity lies in just the love and the passion that Christ has, that God has for you, that he died for you, bro. Like a brutal death. Like, that's my prayer.
So before we leave off on this topic, I want to give two things for you guys to go check out, for anybody that's like, well, okay, man, after all that, I need some resources. Okay, so check out this movie called Unspoken. It's a documentary that talks about the history of African, the Gospels in Africa, Christianity in Africa, and it breaks down so much good stuff. It's free on Tubi. I don't know if you like Tubi or not, but if you want to check it out, it's free on Tubi. It's called Unspoken, UNSPOKEN. And then also, if you just like, man, I ain't going on Tubi, you can go to the website, Jude 3 Project. They're very good at apologetics and talking about the faith with Christians and black Christian, and talk about the difference, and some good resources for you to go check out and everything. And we hope we blessed you this day about that. So